You are Locked On Celtics POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, we could easily come on here and say there was no doubt about it, but boy, oh boy, through the first two quarters on Tuesday night, I was thinking it. Maybe you were thinking it too. I was thinking maybe the series was going back to Orlando for a Game 6. Guess what? Not the case. As bad as the Celtics played in the first half, just down 2 at halftime, huge third quarter, and the Celtics roll to the victory in game number 5. With that, they're advancing to the Eastern Conference semifinals. We welcome you to our latest Locked On Celtics playoff postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime college basketball play-by-play announcer, show host, ESPN Radio and Satellite Radio. You are locked on with our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, providing reaction to every Celtics playoff victory and loss on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Celtics podcast feed, which, of course, you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, we're not going to light a cigar, but you know what? Enjoy this. Get rest. Watch the Pistons and Knicks in game number 6 Thursday night. Hope that goes 7 and game 1 of the semifinals against Detroit or New York occurs early next week, not this weekend. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. If you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, first, thank you. And also hit the comment button. Join the Celtics conversation. Our latest Locked On Celtics postcast brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into your Xbox. No console needed. Head to Amazon.com, Fire TV, LockedOn.com. Again, it's Amazon.com, Fire TV, Locked On, to learn more.
This is what you'll be talking
About that third quarter, because the Celtics in the first half, they shot 53% from the field, but they were 0 for 6 on the three-point line. Not only not knocking down a three, but 6 3-point attempts for the Celtics in the first 24 minutes. Unbelievable. Celtics, though, third quarter, hey, let's not mince words. Paolo Banchero goes to the bench with his 5th foul. Celtics took it from there. 36-13, they outscored the Orlando Magic in that third quarter, and the Celtics just taking care of business from there. It was that third quarter, but the Celtics just taking care of business in that third and cruised in the fourth quarter. For the fourth time in the series, did not trail at any point in the final 12 minutes. You'll take that and you'll run with it. Tatum, 35. Jaylen Brown, 23. 2 off the bench with 10 apiece. Hauser and Pritchard. And Cornet had 9 points. And Cornet had 9 points, 4 rebounds. So the bench also coming alive as well for the Celtics en route to the victory as well. We'll go over the key point in this game. And really it was Paolo Banchero going to the bench in that third quarter for the Orlando Magic. And I was listening to the game. Sean Grande, Cedric Cornbread Maxwell. Let me slow down there for a moment. And in that third quarter, as the Celtics were making the run, Cedric Maxwell basically saying, Tatum hit a 3 to put him up 860, and it was just the beginning for the Celtics. And Cedric Maxwell said, and Sean Grande agreed with him. And speaking of Sean Grande, I'll take this one from him, and I give him credit as well. Sean Grande said late in the game, think about last year. All 4 series last year in 5 games or less. First playoff series against Orlando, hard-fought series, but you're glad it's over. You had no want to go back to Orlando for a Game 6 and then possibly a Game 7 over the weekend back in Boston at TD Garden. But Sean Grande said it. 5 straight playoff series. There's your number of the night. 5 straight playoff series for the Celtics where they win it and close it out in 5 games or less. Again, credit to Sean Grande, Celtics radio play-by-play man on 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston and the Celtics Radio Network. Let's get to the comments right off the bat. More of you, less of me. The real Darrell checking in first. Rest, get some treatment, and wait to see who is next. Absolutely. And Sean Grande mentioned it. In a 30-minute stretch, the Pistons held on to New York at Madison Square Garden to take that series back to Detroit for Game 6 on Thursday night. And as that game was wrapping up, the Celtics all of a sudden turned on the light in that third quarter and said, you know what? We're not going back. And Ben Carroll was big. And Cedric Cornbread Maxwell was saying it time and time again in that third quarter during the Celtics run. You've got to bring Ben Carroll back. You gambled, and they both said it, Sean Grande and Cedric Maxwell. You gambled when he had 4 fouls. The gamble did not pay off. When the Celtics were making that run, your season was on the line at that point in time. You had to bring him back. They didn't. And Jamal Mosley's going to have to answer for that. Thank you, The Real Darrell, checking in first. Spencer B., on to New York or Detroit. Who do you want? All of a sudden, the Celtics in that third quarter realized, hey, we were one of the best shooting three-point teams, not only during the regular season, but in NBA history. They did not hit a three-pointer in the first half. That baffles me. So who do you want, Detroit or New York? Dominated the New York Knicks during the regular season. The Knicks do not defend the three well. I said it earlier in the series. The Celtics finally turned on the light and knocked down some threes. That was only part of that blowout in the third quarter and what turned out to be a blowout in the fourth quarter as well, knocking down three-pointers. But basically, you just took the will of the Orlando Magic and took it away from them. It was done during that third quarter run. And Ben Carroll was on the bench as a spectator. JT for 3. Yeah. I mean, Spencer B. checking in again. That third quarter, let's get to it right now. Because in that third quarter, I mean, it was just lights on and go from there. And the crowd was terrific and all. And I mentioned Ben Carroll going to the bench with 5. Their bench, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, came alive a little bit, but not enough. They need a supporting cast for Paolo Banchero going forward.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Banchero went to the bench with 9:46 to go in the third quarter. Jaylen Brown knocked down a free throw. Celtics up 1 at that point, 54-53. Brown then a layup. 8-0 run for the Celtics. Pritchard with a layup. At that point, 6 in a row for Boston. Up by 7, 65-58. With 5:27 to go in the third quarter, the Celtics were up 61-58. They scored the next 4 points, and they win going away. In that fourth quarter, they led by as many as 34 points, win 120-89. So they win by 31 points. But in that third quarter, it was kind of a going back and forth game. In the third quarter, you had just the one lead change. Once the Celtics took the lead, there was a tie, and that was it. Went from there. And they put the pedal to the metal, and they were knocking down big shots. Tatum knocked down a 3, 68-60. And that's where Cedric Cornbread Maxwell said, uh-oh. That was with 3:04 to go. Celtics 8-0 run on Tatum's 2 free throws, up by 10. Horford knocked down a 3. Tatum knocked down a 3. Again, you're wondering, where's Paolo Banchero? Horford had a steal. Hauser with a bucket. On the three-point line. One dribble inside the three-point line. Knock it down. Up 19. Horford late, closing seconds. Knocked down a long jumper. Celtics 36 points in that quarter. So the offense came alive, but they were shooting at a high percentage throughout. They also got the defense, and there were some sloppy turnovers mixed in there as well for the Orlando Magic. But up 83-62 going to the fourth quarter. Closed the quarter on a 24-4 run. And that was it. Tatum at 13 in the third quarter, 29 through 3, led the team in scoring. Celtics knocking down 5 threes in that third quarter when they did not hit a single 3 in the first half. And Orlando on the three-point line, you could have kept them in the gym for another hour. They may still not have hit a three-pointer in that quarter. 0 for 11 on the three-point line in the third. And the Celtics were 56% from the field overall. And again, sort of tongue-in-cheek, as bad as the Celtics played in the first half, they held Orlando to 40 points in the second half total and 89 points. Orlando, 4 of the 5 games scoring under 100 points. Celtics, there have been some blowouts here in the first round. How Indiana came back against Milwaukee Tuesday night to close out that series in the final minute. I think they were up 7 or so in overtime. No, it was at the end of the first. It was in that overtime session. And they're able to come back and win that game against Giannis and the Bucks. And now the talk about Giannis will start, even though we're not nearly even close to the NBA offseason. But that's certainly going to be a storyline. Is he going to stay in Milwaukee? But Indiana wins the series, 119-118 the final, and they were down 8 points in that overtime session with under a minute to go. This has not been a great opening round of playoff series. Cleveland advancing, OKC advancing, both winning 4-0. Memphis, Miami, they checked out. And Memphis had the injury to John Morant and all of that, but now you've got the Knicks going to at least a 6 game with Detroit. You've got 3 of the series now over in the Eastern Conference. You've got the one series, Denver right now at the half leading over the LA Clippers at home in Denver. That series is going 6. Check in on the comments here. Let's keep going. Again, who do you want to see, Detroit or New York? I'd certainly like to see that series go a full 7. Pascal's got the magic number. It's down to 12. 4-1 in the first round, Eastern Conference playoff series against Orlando. And, hey, the theme of this series, Orlando's tough defensively. Look out for them in the future. Yeah, but they've got to make some moves. They've got to get better in the offseason. Is that a destination? Would you want to play with Paolo Banchero? I would think yes if you're a free agent. You're out there to go. The Real Darrell, third quarter, savvy basketball, Tatum and Brown got points from the free throw line instead of forcing up low percentage shots. Absolutely. PK Tattoos checking in. Just breaking or tying records left and right. Tatum was exactly what they needed him to be, and he has been. He really has been. And he's been fun to watch. Another 30-plus point performance. Don't think he's done. Not at all. Rest, relax, treatment, practice, get your shots up. Drew Holiday, man, that hamstring. 3 games in a row for Drew Holiday. I don't think there's a chance that the Celtics said, you know what, we're going to try to close it out without you and get another game's rest and take your chances. I think that's not a mild hamstring strain. I don't think they gambled and kept him out of the lineup thinking we can close this out without Drew Holiday. I'd really be shocked if that ends up coming out somehow, some way. That hamstring injury and where he did it, I have no idea. In game 2. More numbers of the night, more of your comments as well. Again, I want to hear Detroit or the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Celtics playoff postcast. The Celtics able to close it out. Do not have to go back to Orlando for a game number 6. Locked On Celtics postcast. Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day. We are presented by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, entertainment, easy to lose track. I know that firsthand. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building on your wealth. When you start using Monarch, you may soon realize, like I have in the past, just how much you're spending on food delivery. With that, you can now budget smarter and save more. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing your money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track your shared accounts, your personal accounts. You can set goals together and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances. Use Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off on your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off on your first year. Locked On Celtics postcast also presented by Wayfair. Hey, spring is here, and that means home project season. Whether you're refreshing a room or tackling a full renovation, Wayfair is the best-kept secret for all things home improvement. From small updates like stylish cabinet hardware to major upgrades like new vanities, sinks, or outdoor lighting, Wayfair has quality products for every budget. Ready to upgrade your kitchen or your bathroom or your living space? Well, with Wayfair, the selection is incredible. Their free and fast shipping makes it very easy. So hauling heavy items from the store, nah, no more doing that. You'll love that they have top brands like GE, Moen at great prices. Shopping with Wayfair is seamless, and you'll find exactly what you need to fit your space and your style. Wayfair makes home improvement easy. Get started now at wayfair.com. That's wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. So the Celtics, again, picking up the victory, close out the series in 5 games. Detroit or New York? The Pistons? Do you want the Pistons or do you want the Knicks? I think I lean towards the Knicks. And Detroit, hey, they went into New York, backs to the wall, and won a Game 5. And there are some who are going to say, you know what? They should have won Game 4. And with that, if they went to Madison Square Garden, they could have closed the series out tonight. We would have had Detroit, Boston all lined up for the weekend. Well, even if they had won Game 4 at home and come back to New York 2-2, you don't know if it would have played out the same way. But Detroit gets the series back to Detroit for game number 6. Pascal, Celtics can beat either the Pistons or the Knicks in 4 or 5. That's optimistic. That's very optimistic. I'm not disagreeing with that because I think for the opening round, Orlando gave New York or gave the Celtics as much a challenge as you could get in the first round. The Celtics do match up better against the Knicks. We saw it during the regular season, and I think that carries over. And I just kept thinking during Game 5, Tuesday night at TD Garden, when are the Celtics going to start knocking down some threes? And just kind of having that sneak into my brain of like, it's going to be easier to knock down threes in the next series because you can make that one extra pass. Knicks defense, I don't think it's much improved from the regular season. And if they're not flying around the floor for 48 minutes and challenging shots, I think it's a good matchup for the Celtics. So when Pascal says either team, Pistons or Knicks, in 4 or 5, hey, go let them continue to battle. Let them play physical. Let them continue to battle, and hey, hope for that series to go 7. And then either one, you're opening up the series in Boston, first 2 games. Spencer B, I want New York. I think they will win, but feel like we are in their heads after owning the regular season. The real Darrell. If it is Detroit, Celtics win in 5. If it's New York, Celtics win in 5 or 6. All right. There you go. PK Tattoos. It was so nice to see the deep bench get a little time and score. That's relaxing basketball. It is. And I'll tell you what, yesterday and again into Tuesday, I was thinking, the depth that this team had all season long. Hey, I'm not Joe Mazzulla. I don't pretend to play him here on the Locked On Celtics postcast. The man, I mean, you've really got to start thinking about Joe Mazzulla as a brilliant basketball mind. And that's Brad Stevens, that's Sam Cassell, that's the entire coaching staff. But I really thought, and maybe it's in the next series. And again, you did not have Drew Holiday for 3 straight games. So Horford, that takes away some of your depth. So that'd be 4 normally off the bench. Horford, Pritchard, Hauser, and Cornette. 2 knockdown shooters, and then guys who can bang and defend and be all over the floor. And again, and I love the fact that the Celtics, including head coach Joe Mazzulla, sung the praises of Al Horford from Game 4 in Orlando. That was terrific. Had 5 blocks, defended, a lot of different things. I listened to his pregame interview with Sean Grande prior to the game getting underway. And first reference of the game getting underway late. All of a sudden, the game's on HLN. Not even going to go down that road. Hey, by the way, I didn't have the NBA TV broadcast because I'm in the Celtics market, apparently, even though I don't have NBC Sports Boston available to me on my cable package. And yes, I haven't cut the cord yet. Or no, I haven't cut the cord yet. Paul, Do you think Celtics could win the series against either New York or Detroit without Holiday? Oh, man, it'd be a lot easier with him. I do, but you don't want that. You really don't. And again, I said it earlier in the series. You don't know how severe that injury is. And Joe Mazzulla before, I think it was game 4, day to day, hopeful to have him back. But they held him out again. Not able to go. Goes through treatment, goes through testing before the game, sees what he can do, and then ruled out. He was ruled out. I mean, there was no doubtful. He was ruled out. He was ruled out on Monday. So I think it makes it for a lot tougher of a series in the semifinals, Paul, if you don't have him. He did miss extended time during the regular season, but again, you just don't want that. And really, I wonder at least if there's been thinking. Don't start the two bigs, and the Celtics did that a lot. They started Horford with Kristaps Porzingis, and there were some games where Kornet and Horford started together. But the Sixth Man of the Year award has been given to Payton Pritchard. That's no longer in consideration here. Would you start Payton Pritchard? Maybe that gets him going a little bit more for this series. Pritchard and White in the backcourt. Right now, Derek White and Jaylen Brown, they're handling the basketball an awful lot. That's a lot of responsibility. And in that first half, the turnovers were just too many. And you cannot have that in a second-round playoff series. You can't. So, Paul, I just don't want to. I know the Celtics don't want to, and I know Holiday, of course, he wants to be in there. But if he's not available game 1, either over the weekend, I think Sean Grande said Saturday would be game 1 in Boston if the Knicks close it out in 6, or it would be Monday if they end up playing a game 7 on Saturday. Basically, it's every other day right now. Spencer B., I want the Knicks. Not sure who I want better, Indy or Cleveland. I'll tell you what. If you watched any of that Milwaukee-Indiana series, it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Cavaliers. The Pacers, I think, are going to give them fits as well. We'll see. Hey, right now, we don't know when game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals is going to be played. But what we do know is when it gets underway, it's going to be in Boston, and the Celtics are going to have the home court advantage, best out of 7, first 2 at home, against either Detroit or Boston. Let it go 7. Let's start the new week fresh with game 1 early next week, I believe Monday. We'll go from there. So again, we'll be on within minutes after the final buzzer of game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals over the weekend or early next week. John Corrales has you covered. And he covers all the angles with the Celtics as well with his great coverage, Locked On Celtics podcast, and also on the Locked On Celtics YouTube channel as well. So we'll be with you with post-game reaction after game 1. John does a terrific job, and he'll continue with his great coverage on Locked On Celtics as well. One more from Spencer as he checks in. Keep Holiday out for the next series if needed. Try to get him ready for the conference finals and finals. That's Spencer, you are closing with that glass is not just half full. That glass is full, and you got 3 more glasses, maybe adult beverages right behind. Please drink responsibly. Hey, Holiday's got to get back as quickly as possible, but he's got to be as close to 100% as he can be, especially with a hamstring. Remember, it was the right shoulder earlier in the season that kept him out for a lengthy period of time during the regular season. Hey, that's it for us. As always, we do tip our cap to you for being on board with us with the Locked On Celtics postcast. Again, Celtics close it out. Convincing third quarter, never trailed again in the fourth quarter, and pick up the victory. Lopsided win against the Orlando Magic. Win the series 4-1. Don't forget, Locked On Sports, Boston, #1 place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Celtics every day. 4 down, 12 more to go for a second straight NBA title for your Celtics.